I'm Chad Tiller, and this is Matt DeLong, and we're with Rosco. Here at LDI 2011, we're excited to reintroduce the PF-1000 pencil fogger. We've been able to redesign the electronics in a 18-year-old product and really re-energize it and reinvigorate it and bring it back to the marketplace. Basically, the long story short is you've got a remote head unit with a 15-foot long umbilical that goes back to a central control box. The controls and the fluid pump are located 15 feet away from the heat exchanger in the nozzle. Matt, what's the wattage on the heat exchanger here?
It's a 250 watt heater.
Okay, tell us a little bit about what the heat exchanger does for us.
So the heat exchanger is the place where your fluid is vaporized, but this gives us the ability to get into those situations where you always wanted a little bit of fog in a tight area. The nostrils of a dragon, a cannon, a prop or a character where you just don't have the room to get a machine in, or you wind up with a bunch of ducting that's too small to really get the effect, and you wind up with a bunch of fans, and you end up doing a whole lot of work, and the effect really isn't where we all want it to be. So it gives you the ability to wedge this in to most tight spaces, and then have your fluid accessible and your controls accessible.
With that small of a heat exchanger, do you lose any output or anything like that?
There isn't the big massive aluminum that you typically see with the heat exchanger, so it does have an insulation blanket, so you get 10 to 15 seconds of really large output from a small heater before it goes into a reheat cycle, but typically these are put into places where you're looking to get a little bit of fog for a very specific duration. With the pump that's in this unit, you also have the ability to go to very, very low volumes because more fog isn't always better. We always talk about trying to use the right amount of fog for the effect.
Right.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. Another nice thing about the controls here is there is a DMX interface. You can also program it nicely and tightly with your show motion or your show control controls for themed environments. Will you tell us a little bit about the air intake kit?
So we have what's called an air input kit, and especially for themed attractions, permanent installations, exhibits, it's important to maintain the heat exchanger. It is modular. The umbilical cord is easily removed. It's a little twist connector here. But the air input kit gives you the ability to maintain and clean the unit. It comes with a cable, a set of tubings, a regulator, and a solenoid. But the other thing it gives you the ability to do is to actually start to build special effects. So you can run fog and run a big puff of air behind it and get a cannon shot. You can also thin the fog and get more distance if you run air with the fog at the same time.
That's the pencil fogger, and we're really thrilled to have it here for you guys.